I hope this live is actually being recorded the way it should, and I don't have a whole bunch of static going on as the last time because I literally had to delete everything I videoed because it was just so bad. I'm talking about the internet and the video, everything was really just grainy and you couldn't really see much. So anyway, I was here last, I think about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I just wanted to come back in and talk to you because I had to delete that video that because it was so horrible. But tonight I wanted to just address a different issue, which is the downside of doing business in Guyana, and some of the things that I found that is really bad when you're doing business in a place that you're not familiar with, and which is why it's important to. I think there are three things that I would like to talk about. Just understanding the market that you're dealing with, the cultural differences, and then also understanding that contractors will say and what they're supposed to. And then the third thing is that, I guess just kind of understanding the culture once again and how they navigate certain that are very okay in places, where we are, such as the U.S. and Europe and so on. It's not normal here, and so you really do have to get accustomed to doing business in a place that is different from what you're accustomed to. So probably about 3 months ago, I had mid-air pergola. So I just started it because I really wanted it done before I left, but I couldn't get it done in time. Because hi Jennifer, how are you? And welcome to my live. Yeah, so I couldn't get it done on time before I left, so I decided that okay, I'm just gonna wing it and do as much as I could while I was here, and then hopefully, prayerfully, the contractor will do what it is that they have to do. What you find out later is that I'm glad to hear you, Jennifer, and thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, and so to percentage, he actually charged me $120,000 Guyana dollars to do the project. Well, he wanted 140, and I told him no. I told him I would, rather do 120, which is $100 less. But hey, nonetheless, I negotiated hard, and I decided to, and he took the offer. So that was pretty good. However, when you're not here on the ground, which is what I kept telling you guys all the time, and I say it over and over, people do what they feel like doing. And, I got back in, and I'm going to walk you through the pergola, and so you can see the kind of issues that I'm talking about and the downside of doing business when you're not here. Any country, I think, because I think just about all the Caribbean islands, they complain about the very things that I complain about here in Guyana and that so many people complain about as well. When you're not where you're sending your money, you're not there on the ground, people tell you all sorts, and people are taking pictures. I'm in Linden. I'm in Linden Town, and it's with on Wismar. Yes. So people will tell you these horror stories, and that in itself, it gives you, I mean, it frightens you because to work your entire life, and I heard someone said the other day, and it's really not. People just don't understand how deep this is. Like people are working very hard in these countries to build a foundation in their home countries, and then they send their money and their money's and it's being squandered by family members and people who were supposed to love and protect you. And when that happens, it's really hard to gain back that trust. And not only that, sometimes you may not even be able to recover because you've used up the money that you were supposed to be retiring on to so-called build that property, and it never pulls through. And so, I had to make that hard decision to not wait until 5 years. Because if you guys remembered when I first started, for those of us who've been here with me through it from the beginning, when I first started to talk to you guys about my project, I initially said I would be coming here in 5 years. And as soon as I started my project, I realized right away that I could not stay there and get the things done, that I honestly need to come and underground. Now, because I teach and because I do in our department online, it was easy for me to remote lecture. So it wasn't a big deal. I was able to do so. Now I know that's not a privilege for all of us, that we're able to, just come overseas and do what we have to. But the reality is how you can't. My advice is that please do not send your money to other people to get your work done, unless you are really trusting someone that you know personally. That person is a go-to person. They've always been there. Now, I'm not telling you there isn't good people in the world. That's not what I'm saying. There are always going to be good people. But if you happen to know one of those people in your family, and you know that, okay, this is what they will do, then that's great. Sadly, I couldn't find that person, so I would rather be here. Okay. Now, I've got some wonderful family members. They're not all bootleg and into, just craziness. But reality of it is that, a friend of mine told me that he used to own a grocery store here. I'm not skipping around, but just so that I can reference something that makes sense to this subject matter. But a friend of mine told me years ago when I was thinking about doing some work here, some other work here in Guyana, and he says to me he owned a grocery store, and he said he made millions of dollars per day in this grocery store, and he eventually would close the grocery store down because what he realizes this is that people here do not think about tomorrow. Like, for example, when us in the overseas world, we're always thinking about advancement. We're always thinking about what tomorrow, to what tomorrow is. But we're always going to be thinking about, I'm going to do right by my boss, because if I do right by her today or by him today, you know what, tomorrow he may reward me with a good paycheck. Tomorrow he may increase my salary. There isn't this need to constantly steal and to do things your own way. So you do the right things at your boss. Yeah, you may take a pencil or a pen, and that's different when you're just using it and bringing it back to the job. Hopefully you're not doing that often, because obviously it plays into the company's budget. But he says they do not think about tomorrow. They think about today only. If there's someone sick, for example, in the family, let's say you leave, and this is why I closed my business down when I left, about 3 months ago. Not only because the place had gotten robbed, and I knew it's for a fact that it was someone who knew me and who worked here with me, but also because of the fact that when you think about how these people operate in the culture, it's completely different. So they will not think about tomorrow. They think about, what is today. Let's say someone gets sick, and they're running your business, right? You left your business is going well, and you're so-called trusting them to do what's right. Here is what's going to happen. Someone pulls, just doesn't feel well. They have to go to the hospital or something like that. They're not going to think about, oh, okay, my goodness, this is, my cousin's that money and go do what it is that they have to do, because they're going to seek help for their loved family member. Now, I understand the fact that someone is sick and they need help, but usually the way people do it, if they don't have that kind of resource, and most of the times they don't, is that they call family members overseas and they seek help, right? They seek financial help. But they're not going to do that. What they're going to do is just take your $500,000, if that's what they have, and instead of depositing it into the bank, they will take their family member to the hospital. They probably pay $100,000 for the services, but the next thing you know, the $500,000 just disappears. Now, if they were to take $100,000 and put it in $400,000, then you can still say, okay, well, at least, they've done something well. The family member is now better, and they've sought out the right services, medical services that was needed. However, I still got $400,000. They will just use the entire thing. No, they're very abusive in terms of how people handle things. So it's different, and it's not, you're knocking how things operate here. And if you are not on target, they will use you. So this dude here charges me this money for this mid-air pergola, right? You'll see it in a little bit. I, paid him one part in the very beginning because we agreed that I'm gonna pay him a certain amount. So I paid him half, not half, I'm sorry, about a quarter of the money. All right, up front. Not upfront, like somewhere when he was at least a couple of days into the project when I saw progress, all right? So I give him that because I never pay anything up front, okay? I learned my lesson the hard way. Do not pay anything up front. So I didn't pay anything up front. What I did is I made sure to see a certain amount of work before I give him this quart of the money. Once he got that, of course, he's going to want more. So, and he knows that I'm leaving at a certain time, so he's going to want to work harder. So I knew that. So I put a lump sum of the money in the middle because I knew that if I could get him to work harder while I'm here, it would be better because I don't like work happening while I'm not here with people that I don't know because I don't know him that well, and I've had trouble with this guy before. So I knew that to put the lump sum in the middle would be good because then it would push him to work harder because he wants that lump sum before I leave out. So he pushes and he gets a whole bunch of work done. Now there's the latter part of the project, which is the final payment. So when I told him to show me pictures of what he's done, because he called me and he's like fussing with me, oh, you were supposed to send me the money, you didn't send it to me. I said, I'm sorry. The agreement was you would get this job done, send me the picture or and a video of the work. And I said, what you sent me yesterday was this work that skipped over. Now, the day before, this is mind you, the day before when he sent the video, there was an entire part that was missing from the pergola, which is the back of it, right? So there's no wood there, there's nothing there. So I knew that it wasn't there. The second day when he called me back and he's arguing about his money. Now remember, he's not supposed to get that third until that last set of money until he's done with the work. He sends me a video, skips over the entire part which he showed the day before, and then he's arguing with me for this much. So I said to him, I said, listen, do me a favor. I said, go back and film the entire thing and send it me and show me that you have finished the job. I said, I don't skip over anything because I already know that's the part that's missing, and I knew that I'm pretty sure he wasn't done with it, but he's arguing for his money. See how deceitful people are. So now I said to him, when I said that to him, he doesn't say a word back to me, right? This is all in text. Got to the day after he sent me that video, and I requested him to send me that full proof, and he doesn't answer me back. That following day, I called my neighbor, text my neighbor. My neighbor told me that he was working on finishing up the job. So see what he did. And I fell for him, arguing with me about his money and this and that. And I promised I'd send it this and that. And if I'd only fallen for that and not asked him for proof, he would have walked away with my money and left my entire pergola undone. But I'm gonna walk you upstairs to it. So don't get me wrong. I actually do like my job. It looked really nice. So give me a second. I'm gonna turn this around. All right. Okay. Sorry. 1 second, please. All right. So it looks really nice, guys. But the problem is that a lot of it was unfinished. And if I was here, I would have been able to negotiate a lot better with him and to make sure that he gets it done. So these are the stairs. First of all, if you go to, I think it's stair number 2, which is what I found out yesterday, The whole entire back of it is not nailed down. Right now, does this guy want me to have a lawsuit or something? I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. So I have to have someone to come and nail that in, because if somebody presses to the end of it while they're walking down here, we're going to have a problem. Somebody's going to flip over. All right. This entire front area here was actually open still because he didn't finish it up. Now, the wood was here, so trust me, he had no reason. The video is not clear. Oh, dear. All right. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this another day. Oh boy. Can you? Is it any better? No. All right. Okay, I'm gonna do it in the daytime because I was hoping every time. It seems like when I walk away from the other building, that it pretty much it gets really wavy and staticky. All right, so I'm gonna have to go back down and then explain to you. I was hoping I could just give me a second here. Coming back down. All right. Okay. Obviously, once I step away, hopefully it's a little bit better now. But once I step away to go into the other building, I guess the internet gets really, really bad, grainy, and everything else. So, okay. So let me just explain what it is. There is the wooden for where you rest your hands, like the hand rest, or where you can put your drinks, or you know, however you want to put it. It's supposed to be dress wood. Now, as a contractor, you should know that that needs to be dress wood. What he gives me is hardwood on there. Now, the hardwood carries splinters and it carries lots of roughness to it, as many of us would know, right? So when I came back in, and I kept trying to figure out what was really wrong because I couldn't really pick up on it. I was like, why is downstairs so smooth and up here feels rough? But is it because it's more going to be out in the weather, and because he insisted on having hardwood because of the weather. And I'm like, okay. So I just couldn't have dresswood because those areas are going to be the ones that people are going to touch, and they're going to be using to put their drinks on, and so on and so forth. Even though I'm going to have cocktail tables up there, the entire surrounding area, the perimeter is I have shelves on it. So those shelves are supposed to be in under with dresswood, and it's not supposed to be that hardwood. So I literally had to have someone, yesterday came in and redid what he already did. And not only that, the front of the pergola, there were like 20 pieces of groove and thong that was missing. And okay, I got it to him late, but the reality of it is that you were already paid for it. He doesn't come back and do it. I had to pay someone else to get that done because he refuses to come back, right? Even though I know I was late, this is the third time I'm hiring this guy. He knows I have other jobs to do as well. Why would you just not show up to complete my job? So that sense of irresponsibility, it's just really too late in the culture where people don't think that they have to follow through and don't, like, okay, I don't have to show back up. You don't show back up, I don't give you any references. You don't show back up, I don't hire you again. You don't show back up, I also can tell someone else, hey, that's not the person you want to go to. So it's bad for your business, isn't it? Okay, so now this guy just takes the money, he leaves, doesn't come back to finish my wood. There is also the lettuce in the front of it, which I was wanting to show you. But the lettuce is really just the plastic or PVC plastic design white piece that goes in front that looks really pretty. So that's what I lined mine with. He refused to come back to put that up as well. Now without that, you don't have a front, right? So instead of him coming back to put that up, I had to again hire someone. This was also part of his job. He knew that. And I'm trying to figure out myself, Jennifer. People, again, cultural differences. The sense of definitely, I think probably because of the fact that people aren't paid enough at times, but it's funny because I pay more than the market pays because I understand that people have to make a living, and if you want to have a good job done, you're going to pay a little bit more, so that way people don't take your work for granted. But even when you do pay them twice the amount that they would pay, or three times the amount that they would get paid from someone else, I find that that sense of responsibility isn't there. That pride in people's work a lot of times isn't there. That responsibility to fulfill your customers it isn't priority. So customer service is really, really not a priority here in Guyana. Good customer service. It's getting better, and you see it in the city, but it's really not as important as, especially in a place like Linden Town, where everybody know everybody else, right? And everybody will tell everybody else what you're doing or not doing, but then everybody else will still hire you, even though you have messed the job up. But for people who have lived overseas all these years, we will, not hire you again, honestly. And, that's why he didn't get the contract that I had. I had a big contract on my fence, and he was supposed to get that contract. That's because of the fact that he's so irresponsible. The only reason he got this one from the little jobs that he took forever to get done for me, the only reason it's because my other contractor kept telling me he was coming, and I really needed this project started and ready because there's so much rain all the time that I needed another part where people can sit and not have to worry about, and not have to worry about the rain and everything, because downstairs is not usable when it's raining. And here in Guyana, it's raining consistently, like it's always raining. All right, so that's what I figured out. That's why I have to build another portion, which is going to be a deck, which is going to be a higher deck. Compared to this building, is going to be a little bit higher than this, but it's going to be little bit lower than the new building that I just went up into. So anyway, it's just the way it is, and it's really, really, really sad. And people just don't know how to take pride in their work, and they don't know how good customer service, and that needs to be addressed. And I hope that people like my friend Erin will, who have come from Canada with their human resources skill and their training skills, customer training skills, and so on, that they will impact the larger population in a major way, because it really does need to be changed. Anyway, so with that said, so we've got him not showing up, him not getting my job done, me having to hire people and rehire them to do the job that he was supposed to. But, I do say that the guy yesterday comes and I guess he had to sand the entire place. All the wood, the rough wood, he had to sand those down, because people will come and drag their hands and snag their clothes and do all that stuff if I didn't get that fixed. So I had to, I knew I had to sand the floor, but I didn't realize until, like I kept trying to figure out what was the problem. And then he showed me, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what it is. Because the wood downstairs, the dress woods downstairs are so nice and smooth, and you can rest your hands and your dress. That's one issue. And the other issue I would say, challenges in doing business in Guyana, would be, on nights like these where it's unpredictable. I think business everywhere is unpredictable, but it's especially unpredictable when it rains, because people don't come out when it rains, right? But you still have to be prepared, ready to go, because sometimes they'll just barge in on you and you don't know. So, it's very unstable in that way. However, you get ready, you look as good as you can, and you smell as good as you can, and you wait for the crowd to come in. They usually don't come in until about 9:30. That's why I always try to do the live early, a little earlier, so that way, let me see what time it is. Yeah, it's 8:04 now, so probably another hour before people even start coming in. And if they do come in early, it's generally my seniors that will come early and leave early. All right, so that would definitely be another challenge, and you have to definitely not be discouraged by not seeing that crowd, because not only that, I'm also on the back road, which people have to travel to come here. The good thing is that I have a consistency in terms of my customers; they love it here, so they do come. And then a lot of new people. Since I got back in about 3 weeks ago, I had most of the people that have come here are new people, and I haven't had like a dull moment since. Literally, people keep coming, and new people are coming. Last night I had about six new people, and that was really good because I always, ask them like questions like, "Hey, how did you hear about the place? Is this your first time?" So that's how I know who's new, because sometimes you don't always remember every face and every name, or you may remember a face and not a name. But those faces were unfamiliar, and so I asked them, and they said it was their first time. And last week I had a birthday on the upstairs as well, and those people were all new. The second birthday that I had, those people were new. So I've had a whole bunch of new people that are coming in. So which is good. And I have to tell you, and I'll remind you that I haven't done any advertisement, not one piece of advertisement I've done. But that's because I'm frightened to do it still because I haven't hired people yet. And I'm waiting on my grill and all these kitchen utensils to come. When Guyanese people go out, they want food. Now, I am not going down the route of Guyanese food, as I was saying earlier. So I want to do my grill. I want to have all those things ready. They're not here. They've been shipped, and I'm waiting on them. I have to get my deep fryer. That's not here. I have to get my ice maker. That's not here. So there is that missing part of kanji that I still need to get together, and that's why I haven't hired people because if I hire people, then I have to pay them. If I don't have the goods to sell, and food is a seller, okay? Now I have cocktails, I have lots of drinks and a whole lot of drinks. And so what I try to do is wing it with my appetizers. But you have to have full course meals. And I can't have that. My kitchen is built and ready, finally, right? But I can't have that because I don't have my all the things that I need to get the kitchen to work. So I'm waiting on those things to come in. So hopefully within another 2 or 3 weeks, the parking will have my things, and they'll call me and tell me pick it up because I have a big event coming up on December. I'm sorry, for Valentine's, and I definitely need my things and ready to go. However, there's always a backup plan. My chef is right next door, and I can easily have prepare everything for me for Valentine's. So that's the perfect person in the morning or in the evening hours to cook food, or I can do it myself because I'm not a big cook in terms of Guyanese food. But I know how to do it. I've been doing American food since I was a teenager, so pretty much I'm good with doing things the American way. And people like the blend. People like the in terms of the flavors. They like the change of flavors. So I find out when I do my lemon pepper chicken, even though, well, I don't know. You may say, oh, well, that's not American. I don't know if it's American or not, but that's where I learned it from, right? So I call everything American. I do pasta and so on. Of course, we know that's Italian, but I do those things, and people love the different flavors. So I am not going down the Guyanese route because I am telling you, everybody cooks Guyanese food. All over you go, there's Guyanese food. In the house is Guyanese food. Every corner you turn, there's Guyanese food. You can't compete. You can't compete. So you have to give them that flavor that is different, and you have to bring it with something else, right? So chicken nuggets and those things, or chicken tenders and all that extra stuff as appetizers. I think it's good. I want to do jerk chicken and as well, and all the other stuff that I can grill. That my chef will be able to grill up, and I can go down the wild meat thing, like I said before. Even though they do wild meat here, I think it would be a good thing for me to do wild meat. And I also want to do seafood. And the seafood, let me just say something. When you're looking at these things, you're looking at money, right? And you have to also worry about if people are going to want to pay the price. What I do find, and this is the honest truth, what I do find is when people come to kanji, they don't spare anything. They honestly spend. And my drinks start from 1800, and the lowest amount that I have is $1,200, and they pay. And $1,800 in US is close to, I think, $10. Am I right? It's close to about $10, right? Now it's half the price of, because I mean in the US we can get drinks for like $13, $14. So it's not that far out. Of course, the more liquor that's involved, such as Long Island iced tea, you're going to pay more. My Long Island iced tea is, about $1,800 here. Sex on the Beach is about $1,300. More than that, more liquor it has in it, the more I will. I don't think that, that I'm in a place where I'm being discouraged by the customers coming in and not wanting to spend or whatever. And I don't, when they come here, they're coming for the Kanji experience. It's a beautiful experience. It's a place where they can relax, where the social experience is really uplifting. The music is good. And I'm not playing music tonight because they obviously flagged me the other day, because I was playing some music in the background and they flagged my entire video on YouTube, and so it couldn't even go up. It went up for about a day, and then they said they can talk. So I'm encouraged by that. But okay, so besides the fact that you have to watch your contractors, and because beside the fact that you're sitting here in an unpredictable market and you don't know if people are going to show up on nights when it rains, but you still got to get ready anyway because you just don't know who's going to show and who's not going to show. And you got to make sure you're showered and everything, and you smell good because people are going to come in, and trust me, these Guyanese people be looking like, okay, all right, them foreigners be acting like they all that, so they're gonna size you up and down. They want to know what you're like. They want to see you. They want to make sure you're smelling good. Because if you're smelling good, they're gonna be talking about you. So you got to be that deeper concern. Yet still, there is this fun side to it, and this is what I'm saying. And then the third thing is, for me, I would think that that I'm concerned about is government doesn't do enough for the community. Road that I'm on is really, really bad. I mean, when I tell you it's horrible, it's horrible. Now, here's what's happening. For me, I'm thinking when you see a business or like mine's that says this and that. I'm not all that young, but I'm young enough, right? So to claim youngest, all right. But you see a person comes in and they throw a business up like this. What you're thinking is that the mayor will take notice, the councils will take notice, the whomever it is will take notice, and they will say, you know what? Maybe it's not just this person that can do this. Maybe other people can do it. Let's develop the area a lot more to give people the opportunities, who may want to be or may want to consider coming back to these areas and do put more businesses up. The more businesses you have in the area, the more productive, in terms of the citizens of themselves that they can be, in terms of also hiring them to do the work. Because remember, when you come in, you're coming in with the money to pay not only the day laborer, the person who you have the contractor, the person who you're going to hire to, serve the food. You're hiring also people who are going to, taxi services. You're hiring, who else are you hiring? I mean, you're hiring everybody, right? So you're constantly spending money. So you are putting a vast amount of money into the economy. So why is it that they're not encouraging us? You're telling the truth. Oh, thank you. Right? Why is it that they're not encouraging us to stay here, to come here and stay? Like that road is horrible. Right now, yesterday I saw that I don't know, they kept saying that they put like there's a grader or something like that, and they leveled the road. That's what I would say. They leveled it, which means that those what it felt like 10-foot holes that were there, it's now leveled out, so there isn't the hole. But with the rain, one of the taxis told me, and the trucks passing on the road because it's an industrial area, where they have like a lumber yards, right? At least one, two, at least three lumber yards that I know of. That's around here, and these heavy, trucks pass with heavy timber, all right, and it destroys the road. So I heard that the president of Guyana was considering. Well, I heard that my road, well, I say my road, but you know what I mean. The road where my facility is on the list of the roads to be fixed in Linden. Is it true? I don't know. I hope it is, because this is crazy. Why wouldn't you want to encourage people like us? Now, my friend just asked me recently about buying a piece of land. I can easily recommend her to buy in this area if I thought it was a better place in terms of the road. The road matters, because the better the road is, the more, we're going to see traffic that is going to come to the area, that is going to be passing through. So why not build the area up? So those would be my concern. And I don't understand why they don't get it, right? More and more African American people are moving abroad. Exactly. Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. I happen to be Guyanese, right? But you are absolutely right because I see this where African Americans are moving to Ghana. They're moving to Tanzania. They're moving, and these are, I mean, American born, family tradition for generations have been Black African Americans, but they're now getting up and moving to other countries. So you're absolutely right with that, and I follow lots of them on YouTube because they encourage me too, right, to stay put in what I'm doing. So me would being from here and repatriating back to Guyana, I want to see the presence as well, and also because I know it would be cheaper for me to do business here than it would for me to do overseas, right? So that said, those would be my concerns. But am I discouraged? No, I'm not discouraged. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, and I'm not. I don't know if I'm complaining. Maybe I am complaining, or maybe I ought to complain because it needs to be fixed. People's attitude about work and taking people's money need to be fixed. All right, because if I pay you, you need to fix and get my job done completely. And I'm not, backing down from that. I'm not going to say that, okay, that's something that shouldn't be addressed. It needs to be addressed. And people's, the fact that you take my money, the fact that you're supposed to get my job done is something that you should be held accountable to doing, completely doing it in the right way, not doing it halfway and leaving one of my stairs to flip over if someone walks in it to the edge, because then I'm going to get a lawsuit. That's crazy. All right. So, but I am still grateful, and I am enjoying this process of being a business owner, and I look for lots of people that will come in here. For right now, I'm still keeping it under the wraps because I'm really not ready with my. I'm not out of patience, guys. Please do know that I'm not out of patience at all, because I think that patience, because I feel like as though everything is in God's timing. I don't want to rush into something and get myself into trouble, right? If last year, for example, they came to me and they asked me to do the karaoke for this festival that we have here in Linden Town, which is called Linden Town Day. The karaoke is a big part of it. A lot of followers, hundreds of people come up, but there were things that weren't set in place. My venue wasn't ready for that crowd in terms of the bathroom facilities. I have indoor bathroom, beautiful ones, but you need, when you're doing such large numbers of people on the outdoors, you need an outdoor bathroom. So that wasn't ready. My kitchen wasn't ready. The extra building wasn't ready. And you just can't do business that way. So I like things done a certain way. When people come back to this, or when they come to this facility, even if it's for the first time, I want them to be like in awe. Like every single person that walks in here feels like it's a wonderful space. And I want it to remain that way. I don't want people to come and show up because they will talk about you. I'm telling you, they're good at streets, like just whispering, oh yeah, this and that, that's wrong. And this, watch it. I'm telling y'all. So I don't take any chances. I like doing things the right way. And I'm not, of the school of thought that says, everything has to be done in the same day. I feel like as though if Rome wasn't built in a day, then I don't need to worry about building this in a day. Makes me want to visit. Okay, you have very high standard. Well, thank you, Jennifer. And it is true, but I got that level. First impression is everything. Absolutely. I think so too. And because if they come in here when things are undone, they will talk about it. That's why when they show up now, they're always impressed with what it is that I have going on, because I worked on it before they got here. But I invited them into this space, which is where, in the venue itself, right? And this venue is only a 27 by 27, so it's a cozy little spot. It's not a broad, big opening. The opening is on the outside. A chance to see it. All right, so this is the inside, right? So you probably have already seen it, but I don't want to assume that you did and you didn't. All right, I've got my little Bob Marley picture right up here. And if you don't have one of these mosquito catchers, I'm telling you, they'll eat you alive. And every day I have to spray this place because, it's just so, it's mosquitoes, it's South America. I'm telling you, they'll eat you alive. They'll fly away with you if you let them. All right, but hold on. All right, so and I hope it's clear, but if it's not, you'll let me know. But this is the outdoors. Now, see what's happening here? Lots and lots because it rained from last night all the way to today. So there's lots of water. I built up this area on the left that you're looking at with the, yes, right over here. That I built it up a little bit higher because the water was even worse over there. When I left, all over here got filled with a whole bunch of green it's just moss on the floor. So I have to now either get bleach or something to clear that out. But I'm gonna be building on it, so I don't even know if it's worth worrying about it. But I probably have to do it anyway because I have events coming up, so it has to look better than that. So I'm gonna have to buy bleach and do it over. Either only or an event. No, it's gonna be a restaurant. Well, it's a bistro and lounge. Okay, let me show you. Oh nope, can't see it well. Okay, there we go. Kanji Bistro. All right. So yes, so it's a bistro and lounge, and it serves cocktails. All right, it serves cocktails. It serves appetizers that I need. All right, yeah. All right, and then over here is one item, it has the sink, and it's at least that's working, right? So, yeah, but other than that, it doesn't have much in there. All right, and then in the back here, I have an outside pergola, but I have to put some zinc in the back. Well, that's my back stairs. And then I have like a little kitchen garden going on. So I've got like a couple of things happening in there, like thyme and mint bushes and so on. And I have to fix it up because when I was away, a lot of it died. So, that's the downside, all right, of locking up. But even though I had someone taking care of it, it wasn't. You got to be here with your stuff. you know. Let me see. All right. So what you're looking at is the upstairs, like I said before. But I know if I go up there, it's gonna be hard to see. Let me go downstairs. I don't know if it's gonna be any better with the visibility. All right. So this is all little pools of water that I have to work with, and thank God, Guyanese people are not afraid of water. you know, well, they're afraid to come out, but once they're out, they're not afraid of it, I guess. All right, so that's the thing I was telling you, the lettuce, the white piece in front, that's what I was telling you he didn't put up. I had to hire someone to come and put it, so the whole area was left without anything there because of his, inability to follow through with his job. This is my outdoors, and I hope you can see, as much as I'm trying to walk you through. This is my outdoors bathroom, so it's flushing. It's regular flushing bathroom, and it's locked, so I can't take you in. But look over here. That's a customer that just arrived, so I'm gonna have to go. Didn't I say they come in right about 9:30? Yeah, so it's probably. Um, well, guys, thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate your hand, and please come back again when I'm live. I'm gonna have to go let them in. And the area down here, let me show it to you really quickly. I don't know if you can see, but I'm hoping you can. I won't know until tomorrow when I look at this. All right, so this is the outside pergola that I'm building up, and I built this a while ago, but now I have to get like zincs to put on those, and I'll probably put some plastic see-through zincs on those. I had a birthday here one night, and it was really, really cool. This is great. Thank you. And this is the backyard. I'm probably going to build an extra piece onto the building because I need an office space, right? So I'm probably just going to attach a piece to the building, and then I have to do runways to the bathroom because if you don't do runway, then people will be walking in sand. Hi, I'm coming. Hi, guys. guys. So have a good night. I have to go now because my customers are standing at the gate. All right. So thank you guys so much for hanging with me, and we'll talk. I'm gonna come let you in right now. All righty. All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye bye.